here in just 1 minute. But before we do, if you can kindly confirm that both audio and video connection are working as expected in the chat box, and then we can get started. Thank you. Before I managed to finish what I was saying, Dean already jumped on that and confirmed that both audio and video connection are a-okay. So thanks for that, Dean. Hello to everybody once more. My name is Peter. I am VooPlayer's product manager. And as the slide on your screen indicates, this is the weekly webinar Q&A VooPlayer session where we aim to answer any questions that you as users may have, also to provide any training on advanced use cases of video in your business, also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on, as well as to gather, organize, prioritize, and roadmap any ideas, suggestions, critiques, recommendations for improvements so that we can continue adding VooPlayer value to your business through our product. So the format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. At any time that you have a question, just drop it in the chat box over here on the right-hand side, and we'll just start answering them in the order that they came in. If you came prepared with any questions, now will be a good time to do so. So a couple of housekeeping notes. So this is a weekly webinar, as mentioned, and the replays, in case that you are unable to attend but would like to review what happened, are available both on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/VooPlayer, as well as in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/VooPlayer, and the links to those are available in the, no, that's the YouTube one again. I didn't copy the Facebook link. Just give me 1 second. Facebook. Why am I doing that? All right, there we go. So that's the link to the Facebook group as well. So if you haven't subscribed to that channel or joined that group yet, I do encourage you to do so, as that will help you stay on top of things and be updated with everything VooPlayer related. An additional resource that I would like to point out to anybody just getting started with VooPlayer who is on the call or is watching the replay is docs.vooplayer.com. That's our entire knowledge base where everything VooPlayer related can be explored for potential additional ways in which you can leverage VooPlayer. And in particular, if you're just getting started with VooPlayer, there is a section called Getting Started, and that describes in detail step-by-step processes and video walkthroughs of creating your first a video, applying branding to it, adding features and so on, and then publishing it on your sites or platforms as sort of a mini getting started tutorial. So that's definitely a worthwhile resource to explore. Additionally, one more thing that I would like to highlight is that if at any time you have a suggestion that you would like to contribute to VooPlayer or see what others are, what's important to other VooPlayer users, you can visit our product board, which is available at any time in your application by clicking over here on documentation and support and selecting submit and vote on ideas. There you can see stuff that we're currently working on, stuff that we're considering working on. So these are ideas from other VooPlayer users who have submitted requests or suggestions for how we can improve VooPlayer, and then you can vote on those suggestions, giving them additional momentum, signifying to us how important or not important these are, as well as most importantly to submit your own ideas and indicate how important they are to you, so other VooPlayer users can vote on them and hence again gather momentum. And ultimately you can see stuff that's been recently launched. So we haven't been providing detailed updates with regards to everything that's been recently launched, but I've put together short release notes on sort of a lot of bug fixes and small enhancements to features and so on, and added that to that release notes October 2019 post that I just shared an article to. So if you're interested, go through that, and you might find some interesting or surprising things that you didn't know were added recently, such as related videos at the end, or integration extended integrations with Mailchimp and Moonsend, or expanded capabilities of the JavaScript and REST API. So, and that's the link to that is also available over here on the product release board. So if at any time you want to turn to that as a reference, just take a moment to review recent WooPlayer updates, as the card neatly says. All right, cool. With that out of the way, did I want to turn to anything else? Let me just double check what was in those release notes, just to make sure that I didn't skimp over everything. Ooh, we got one share on Facebook already. That's nice. Adding, I think we're good here. So with that said, we can start turning towards questions. Now, I always forget, but before I do, I just want to get this screen over here as well, so that we can have a side view of the questions as well while we're answering them. Rick is saying, I am getting AS Breezy. I'm glad to see that it works with WooPlayer. I'm not even sure what AS Breezy is. I'm assuming AppSumo, AS Breezy. Let's check out Breezy. Maybe do some cross promos here. I'm not sure what Breezy is. AppSumo. Would assume that it is Breezy. Breezy exclusive offer from AppSumo. See what we have in store here. Since we don't have any questions at this time, maybe we can see what's happening. Create high converting websites and landing pages in Breeze. Sounds awesome. So what do you want? Stunning websites that wow clients and generate leads. What you don't want? Wasting hours of your precious time struggling. So it's a page, sort of a little like a landing page slash website builder. Drag and drop, point and click. You can take a look at their videos, see what's going on with there. I just want to see what their templates look like. Oh, that looks really nice. Oof. But this looks really well done. Yeah, this looks really nicely done. I'm curious, Rick, the integration with this, is it through their video element or is it through their code element? I'm just really curious to find out. So, wow, single, multiple, la, 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 la. Somebody really did their thing here. When did this go up? I'm really curious. I haven't heard about this yet. Um, when did this go out? You don't need X learn to code and just how long ago does this go? Did this go up? Because if it has 52 reviews and it just went on, that's pretty cool. Really, really pleased to see this. WordPress, it's good, but you're limited. Why not just use WordPress? WordPress is an overkill for a landing page with video. Understood. Very like Elementor Pro. Yes, through the video element, it's a steal. Even with one code, Elementor is a WordPress application, whereas Breezy is its own system and does not run on WordPress. Yeah, my feeling is exactly the same. I mean, if you're building a blog or a website or a membership platform or something really extensive such as that, WordPress might be the default go-to on building out those sites, but if you're just doing like small landing pages which you're connecting to some integrations or collecting leads or selling stuff through that, I'm really leaning towards something that's gonna get that done in a much easier and neater way than struggling with a mammoth such as WordPress. So this really looks like something I'm really liking this. This looks like something that I would use, and I'm really pleased to hear that they're natively integrating with BluePlayer out of the box. That's why I originally went to the review section. I wanted to see if somebody asked for BluePlayer integration or BluePlayer in the reviews. There we go, reviews, or they just natively decided to do that. Either way, really pleased to hear that. Thanks for turning our attention to that, Rick. Breezy also includes the hosting, so that's great. And let's find out more about that, since it doesn't seem like we have any other questions. In the meantime, if anybody has a question about WooPlayer rather than discussing landing page builders, I'll gladly turn to it until such time. I'm really curious about this. Let me see. There we go. So with the single, you get 3 hosted domains, unlimited, blah, 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 blah. How much hosting do you get? All features above included. And above we have stack up to 10 codes, HTML, SSL. I'm really curious how much hosting you get. It's BRIZY. No, I was curious. It says Breezy is the most user-friendly WordPress page builder in town. No designer or developing skills required. So there they are on WordPress. It's just a builder for WordPress, or is it really a standalone application? Or is it just a jam-packed with unique features, visual content from blah 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 blah. All right, time-saving feature design is always wanted. Yeah, this looks like it's a builder for WordPress. Eek. Not too pleased with that. I was hoping it's a standalone platform and didn't know that it was just a builder for WordPress. But even so, it looks like something really neatly done. So really, I'm pleased to hear that. As I mentioned, works natively with WooPlayer. See their own video. Cool. I like the AppSumo video better. Let's see. Maybe let's get to some questions. Breezy includes the hosting also. Dean says he has a question. Rick is saying Vue plus Breezy plus Publidio is a dream come through, and I think all 3 of those were offered on AppSumo as lifetime deals. So if somebody, and I've personally never heard of AppSumo until they wanted to do a deal with us on WooPlayer. So then I was kind of skeptical about the audience that would hunt those lifetime deals, because there's a lot of shady lifetime groups and trading platforms for lifetime coupons and so on, and the audiences there are somewhat sketchy. But the deals that are brought to AppSumo and the quality of them and the quality of the feedback that founders of those deals are able to gather through that platform, it's a really amazing community. So if somebody is interested in sort of staying on top of things when new and crazy thing comes out and you're being able first to grab it and grab a coupon for it, I really wholeheartedly recommend signing up to AppSumo and their list until something interesting comes along that you might be able to use. All right, so Dean says last week you stated maybe by the year's end you will have a beta on the new player. When this in 2020 moves forward, if we want our current videos on it, do we have to redo all the videos? That's an excellent question, and that's something that I think I addressed in the last week webinar as well. But let me just reiterate this. So the plan or the timeline, and I might need to draw some diagram out, but just bear with me. So the rollout would be in the beginning, whenever we're ready by the end of this year, we'll have a closed beta, and that means that nothing will change to any video that you currently have, but you will be able to test all of those videos in the new player. So you'll just be able to say, hey, I just want to generate an embed code which will be specifically for the new version of the player, but for the same videos that I currently have with the same settings inside of VooPlayer. And that way you can sort of test it out without needing to do anything or needing to change anything. You can easily just find out what your videos would look in the new player. So from that point onwards, once we gather enough feedback and everything like that, we're just going to automatically make a switch to the new player. So all of the embed codes which you currently have, all of the share links which you currently have, and so on, they'll just start automatically using the new player, meaning they're just going to start loading way faster, then start looking much more beautifully. Aesthetics is also a part of the things that we're, and start interacting much more naturally with viewers and start working better in iPhones and so on. So there's a lot of things, but basically once we've closed out the beta and ensured that we've gathered enough feedback and resolved any issues with the player, at that time we're just going to roll out an automatic update to everything. So no embed code or anything like that needs to be changed, or no settings need to be remade. So we're not redoing any settings, we're not redoing any features. We're just redoing how all of those settings and features are presented within the player, and also the entire infrastructure of the player itself is what's getting rebuilt. So that's the main impact that this will have. But as mentioned, we're doing it in such a way that no embed code or anything like that will need to be updated. Breezy Cloud and Breezy WordPress, it's separate. I imagine, I thought that they probably had a separate platform which AppSumo was promoting. All right, cool, good to know. William is saying, have you tested Screencast-O-Matic links within a VooPlayer? I haven't. If you would be able to share one of those Screencast-O-Matic, that's a mouthful, links with us, William, we'll gladly try and test it out. We can do that live on the webinar, or if you prefer, we can do that over the support channel. Just if you have maybe one handy, just share it in the chat box, and if you're glad to share it with us, of course. If not, just do it over support channel and we can go through that. Dean is saying, thanks, would this be backwards compatible? Let's say we click the button to try this new beta and it messes up some videos. Can we set it back to the old platform? Well, there's not going to be a button which says, hey, I have videos which are playing through the regular player now, and I want them to start using the beta player from now onwards. We'll just generate you a specific link through which you can see your video in the new player. You're not gonna the closed beta means that if you, for example, let's say you have a video which is called promotion of my house, whatever, and then you have that video embedded on your site and you shared a link to that video on Facebook or whatever the case may be. So for the duration of the beta, you're going to be able to come in into WooPlayer and say, hey, I want to see what this video looks like in the new player. So we'll just generate a special link just that you have, or you if you're willing to, you can share it with other people as well, like your viewers, but you don't necessarily need to. But throughout the duration of that beta phase, only that special link is what it's going to show the new player. The shared link and the video embedded on your website for that duration are going to continue working as they were originally. So hopefully that clarifies that. Ludwig is saying you guys are having a sale. You guys are having a sale on Pastebin. Will I be able to apply that code for extra storage even if I'm on the enterprise plan? Yes, absolutely. So there is a across a lot of sites, not only Pastebin, a promotion that's being run through Stack Social. So you're able to buy coupon codes and you can redeem them if you have an existing WooPlayer account, as I would imagine everybody here does. You're able to redeem those codes for a additional 5 gigabytes of storage, which are lifetime, which are not renewable on monthly basis. So you can get lifetime 5 gigabytes of storage for each additional coupon purchased on an existing WooPlayer account. And let me share some details on that as well, in case that anybody wants to reference that later. So that's the Stack Social promo. And here are some details on that for anybody curious. Cool. All right. Do we have any other questions? I think I got to everything. Maybe let me just scroll up. Maybe if I missed somebody's question or comment, just let me know so I can get back to it. To Dean's point, so Dean brought up a good point about the player, and if somebody who new light version of the player, and if somebody who just joined the webinar doesn't know what we're talking about, is that so throughout the course of the past couple of years, past 3 years since we released WooPlayer 4, we've of course learned a lot of lessons, and a lot has changed in the environment of app publishing, as well as the online video playability and regulations around that, and the infrastructure of applications has gotten a lot streamlined. So us asking ourselves how we can contribute the most value to you guys as users, I think the feedback has always constantly been the performance of the player. So we were stuck with a decision that we had to make on, hey, do we want to optimize the current player and try to compress it as much as we can and sort of backwards engineer a lot of the code that we had and try setting apart some components and modules of that, which would be a nightmare in its own. Or we could build something from scratch that leverages on all of those lessons learned and builds on the dynamic capability to only use the code for the features which you've selected, and build out a player very dynamically, and have it respond much faster and have it look much better, and so on and so on. And that's the latter is the route that we chose. So that's why we're building out that new player, which as I mentioned, once it's done, I mean, you guys know about it because you are on this webinar call, but WooPlayer users will maybe, aside from maybe a slight change in appearance using better icons and maybe better sizing of the player and so on, everything will just automatically look better and faster. So no major differences in appearance there. Dean is saying, since I have version 3 and version 4, will the new player be called version 5? No, 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 no. So there is no new version of Wool Player. We're just updating the player itself. So the main application where you create your videos and all that, none of that is changing. That's staying exactly the same. So Wool Player 4 is Wool Player 4, and as far as we're concerned, this version of Wool Player is the final version of the Wool Player. We're just doing sort of a major overhaul of the actual video player, which we're dubbing 4.0, exactly because we don't want to do versions anymore that are changing the entire application and the entire system and the entire. I think we're pretty good with where we are right now, infrastructure wise and network wise and so on. So we don't want to do any major and user relationship wise, we don't want to do any major changes like that. We think that there's only one version of Wool Player right now, so you're going to have 4.2 that's coming out 3 years after 4 rolled out. So I don't know, maybe in the next 3 years you're going to get 4.3, but that on its own is in no way going to impact the actual relationship between the video creation and you guys and feature capabilities and module sets and anything like that, unless we, of course, just continue improving it. So the availability is going to stay there for all of the current users as is. Rick is saying, when are we gonna view the beta player? I could show you something today, but I would rather wait until we have something that you can actually start playing with, and I'm hoping that that's definitely coming at some time in December, that we're gonna be able to say, hey, grab your video and you can test it out in the new player. So hopefully that's something it's going to happen in a month or so. William is saying, have you guys finalized the new player's design? The bare bones of it, yes. We haven't gotten into the customization, the colors, and all of that fun stuff. It's very much in a skeleton phase right now, appearance wise, and to be frank with you, I'm really loving the skeleton phase of the player right now. It looks really nice and clean, and no major bells or whistles around it. It's everything is just white icons and white play button that's just a triangle and a pause button. Hopefully, as I mentioned, maybe we'll start teasing with some screenshots sometime soon, until it's ready to be played with. Maybe we'll do that. All right, cool. Hopefully that answers all those questions, and thanks for Dean for reminding me about that. That's always a good, interesting topic of conversation. All right, cool. Maybe give it a minute more, unless somebody is holding off on their questions. If not, I just want to thank everybody who joined this week, and thank you for continuing to contribute with your ideas to helping improve Wool Player, and thus in return making us able to contribute more value to your business through it. Ludwig has one final question. Are we planning to have features like DRM encryption? I'll turn you to, so Wool Player has secure content, a heavy set of HLS encryption capabilities, which resides on a mutating algorithm which can be decrypted only within Wool Player. So I'll turn you to that document so you can read a little bit more about it, Ludwig. And once you've finished reading it, if you have some questions, do be sure to reach to us over at support@vulplayer.com, or if you're in the application, which I've closed, there's a live chat widget in the bottom right corner, which where we're always available, so you can reach us that way. All right, once more, thanks everybody for joining this week. Hope we'll see you next week, and have a great remainder of this week. Bye for now.